In speaking to people here on the op, I've heard a number of times that there was often one person early on in someone's life who made a difference, who saw something in them that they may not have even seen in themselves, and that one person had an impact. Teachers, relatives, next door neighbors, it could be anybody, but it's someone who changed their lives forever without even possibly knowing it. This is a chance for guests to thank those people publicly. This is That One Voice.
So anyway, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to sort of talk about this teacher that I had. And one of the reasons why, Dave, is because I do think I have heard over and over in my life somebody saying it was just one teacher. It was just one teacher. And you go, that's the value of what education is all about, that somebody can either find something in you that you didn't know, which is what Cecil, or intrigue you so much. I mean, the truth of it is, thank God it was Cecil before the geology professor that I had in college, who all of a sudden this is the most exciting thing I've ever thought about, rocks and geology and what happened to the earth, because this person was so fascinating and I couldn't stop listening to them. But fortunately, I'd already met Cecil, so I'm not a geologist, which maybe I would have been just fine doing that and probably very happy doing that. But part of it was with Cecil is that, it wasn't that he selectively found something in me. He selectively found something in everybody. And it wasn't necessarily that everybody would hear it and would then be inspired by it for the rest of their lives. But he so believed in the process of storytelling and what storytelling was all about, which was why in Houston, Texas, there was the Alley Theater. And then to a theater-going public in Houston, there was also Bel Air High School. And Bel Air High School's senior plays, or Bel Air High School's one-act plays, or they were stunning productions, truly stunning productions. So it always feels weird when I would say, oh, we had a really good high school drama department. It's like, we did Annie, and we had wigs, and I remember we did Twelfth Night, and I was playing Orsino, the Duke. And I thought, okay, I will have a Shakespearean accent and I'll stand really tall and they're going to give me a beard. And I remember it was If Music Be the Food of Love speech. And all of a sudden in the middle of a rehearsal, he just stopped me and said, what the hell are you talking about? What are you even talking about? Forget iambic pentameter. Forget everything. Just talk to me. Talk to me about you. Talk to me about, have you ever been in love? Have you had a girlfriend? Have you ever? And it was like, holy shit. And he was such a guy who so cared about truth and detail and something specific as opposed to just the picture of it all. And what I didn't realize in that year and a half that I spent with him was not that, oh, I want to be an actor. What I realized later was I was watching what he did. And I was far more intrigued, having not even a clue that, oh, one day I would direct like Cecil is, because he would direct all the productions. It was really about later, as I started to think about it, and I dropped out of the drama department at the University of Texas and then kind of gravitated towards the film department, and then about making movies, but really about directing people. And to this day, there's still, I know that I'm doing things on the set that I learned now 50 years ago. And it's Cecil Pickett, and he's still there, and he's still there in me. He's still there, I know, in Brent Spiner. He's still there. I know when he passed away, how many people went back for his funeral. He also has a daughter who's a wonderful actress named Cindy Pickett, and she's done a lot of shows. And so it was just, and by the way, there was nothing, he was a guy from Oklahoma. He grew up on a farm in Oklahoma, and there was, truthfully, an affectation to him that was kind of delicious and wonderful. And he also treated us truthfully like adults. And that was the other thing. He would make fun of us and assume that you're going to get sarcasm, you're going to get irony. If you were irony deficient in that class, you were going to get destroyed by him. And so that idea that, oh, we're all in this together, he's doing this, and he was a taskmaster. It was not don't take this lightly. These shows aren't to be taken lightly. And which is why we would go to the one-act play contests and we would win. I think Bel Air High School, it was like 7 out of 10 years, of which is it's a state tournament. And people would go, what is Bel Air doing? And so I'm happy to be able to, one, celebrate him again on this podcast, but also just to remind people that, and it goes back to what we talked about, I believe, in the interview, which is you never know what moment is going to be the moment that could shape something 10 years or 2 years later. An interview that you didn't get could, and it's the same thing. You walk through a door, your kids walk through a door and they think they're taking a class and they might not like the teacher right away. And then all of a sudden that teacher just goes deeply into their veins and will change their lives.